Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So if you see this type of bag, you know already where this thing is coming from. So this is a reel, as you can probably guess by the shape. And it's man, it's fancy. It has some, I think it's rubberized or something like that. It's the Handing M1 Elite reel. And why did I order? Because I got the early birds deal and it cost me like 18 euros, something like that. But even on normal price, it's not that expensive. So I bought this reel because bass season is around the corner and I have some rods that I want to test with bass, so I'm not always using BFS. I will try to have 1 week ultralight, super ultralight, and the other week BFS on the channel, so everyone is happy, or no one is happy, either way. But this is a quite affordable reel by Ending, and if it's anything like the original M1, I think it will be a success. And this one looks even prettier, so for that I will give you a closer look at all the specs on the table.
So now that we are on the table, I can give you a closer look of this reel. I think it's a pretty awesome and good looking reel. I think I would rate it on my prettier red accent reel even over the Darwin Carbon. The box itself comes with tags from Handing Store and a nice exploded diagram that actually features the M1 Elite. So pretty awesome from Handing, not using a just generic reel on there. And the specs are 5.2 to 1 on the gear ratio, 9+1 ball bearings, 4 kilos of drag, 210 grams of total weight on the reel, which should be lower than that since this is a spinning reel. And it takes too much line, man. I really wish that at least 800s, 500s, 1000 versions of the reels came in with shallower spools. I don't know who is buying such small reels to use with monofilament. So screw-in handle. Again, the box, it's pretty cool looking. It doesn't feel like a 20 euro reel box. So you have a lot of stuff in there, some information about the reel, so like gear ratio and ball bearings. The handle, it's actually pretty cool, other than the knob. Not that it has a lot of slack, it's like less than 1mm side to side play, but the screw-in handle has actually a quite nice feature. So the thread is a little bit tapered, so you will not have a hard time to assemble the arm. Also the metal feels pretty cool, everything, it doesn't have any sharp edges, so quality control pretty good. Everything that feels a little bit cheaper is just there for save you some money. So the knob has a little bit of flashing, even though you don't feel it on your finger, it's just there. The spool itself look pretty cool. Sound check, sounds pretty nice. It's actually quite smooth. It has a lot of action going up and down, so line lay should be good on this one. The bail format, it's a little bit weird when you look it from up to down perspective, but you can see that the spool comes way up and it's a very slow. So line lay, I'm very curious how it will be. So now I will just take the spool out so we can get a better look at the whole assembly, at least on a quick disassembly. Just pulling the spool out, you can see that there's some grease on the clicking mechanism for the drag. And if I trick the drag adjustment knob, you can see that there's a rubber washer in there to provide some waterproof. Not waterproof, water resistant, so it will not get automatically drenched in water. You can see in there on the top the metallic washer for the drag assembly. Again, 4 kilos, plenty enough. I think it's cool to see that they did a smaller drag weight on this reel, even though it feels solid as the M1 normal version. In here you have a nice perspective of size, that's why I'm using this Crafts background. Now just some other measurements. Again, you have the typical 60mm foot on the reel. The spool itself, it's 40mm on the rim, and it feels solid. Now just a quick weigh-in. They claim 210 grams. The heavier reels will always provide a harder time to be weighted on my drug scale, because they don't want to stay stable. But I will keep it quiet for a little bit, and you can see it comes under the claimed weight, so 207 and some change grams. But man, this feels very solid. There's not a lot of flex on a 1000 size reel, even though it's a bit on the weightier side, but it feels very solid. And in here it's the first fish. The video will come out in 2 days.
Very sweated.
With my first impressions on this reel on a very hard time of year for me. And I'll see you guys then. Bye!